What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the fanliest of Fridays. Of course, it is another Fan Friday and another day closer, yes, guys, to our Dallas Cowboys training camp. But as we get rolling here tonight, guys, there's some shout-outs, some people, some love and appreciation we always have to give before we get rolling here tonight. And as we do, thank you very much to the sponsor of the week and the stream boss. A big mahalo to Mark Hovsepian. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, of course, Mark.
Man, Mark is the man out there in these MCF streets, so
that's right.
Appreciate him.
And not just the only one representing, we have Jason Renfro as the Cash App King. Thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate you, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's, both these guys here. Mark has the all-time streak in the Sponsor of the Week board. Jason has the all-time streak in the Cash App board, and we'll see how that turns out for them if they double it up and go back to, Jason Renfro go three-peating here, possibly, and Mark going back-to-back. We shall see, but we do have leaders we got to speak on first, and that means that we talk about the Cash App side, baby. You got Snug X currently leading the pack there over Jason Renfro and the rest. Snug X, you know why he's here. So much love to him. And if you look at the above board there, you see Skeptical Fan. He's the leader of gifting memberships. And if you guys were checking this out pre-stream, you were lucky enough to get a membership. 2 lucky membership winners gifted by Skeptical Fan, who adds to his this month's lead. Guys, he's got 26 now after dropping those 2. Appreciate you, the man staying skeptical, who's helped out with raffle gifts here sent to us, many other things and many other ways. So appreciate the man staying skeptical. He leads this month currently over Jason Renfro, who has 3, and he's got the last 2 months back to back, like our 90s Cowboys. Also, if you look at this board, you're realizing Mark Hovsepian in 3rd, Snug X in 2nd. On the overall board, though, it's the man Skeptical Fan repping it across the top of the board here right now. Also, he is a star level member here at MCF, and
which of course comes with its own special little
nightly shoutouts, right? Nightly shoutouts on top of other things, like jersey raffle. Anyways, we got a little the jersey stuff that went down for the 6-year anniversary here at MCF. We'll be doing some more of that here soon, especially for that star level. So stay tuned. And speaking of star level, and baby, on Fan Friday, every night we shout out star level, but Fan Friday we always shout out the silver too.
That's right.
So don't forget, the people in the star level. I'll shout them out, baby. We got Skeptical Fan, of course, staying skeptical. He's across this board, baby, all over the place. You got Dwayne Broussard as well. You got the Cash App King right now, Jason Renfro. Got Mary Alvarez, and of course, Lincoln Kane from the other side of this rock we live on here. Much love to everybody representing that star for everything. And then the silver level, baby. You got Marissa, A. Lavelle, and the Q-Man, Justin Quarles. Appreciate you guys, all 3 of you, the whole family here. Can't do it without you guys repping that navy blue silver and star over everything.
Right.
Let's go Cowboys. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate everybody on the Fan Friday here rocking with us. And appreciate the man always with that plan, Mark Hovsepian, with that 5 on it.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Kicking it off live, by the way. First in here. We got the Skeptical double membership gifting drops. And now we got the Mark Hovsepian kickoff drop. What did the sponsor of the week and the stream boss with 90 points, what did he have to say, baby?
He said, we keep talking about the Denver guard as a good addition. Can you think of any left tackles that are better than him at guard? So we can keep Tyler at guard and then Smith as the swing tackle.
Now, Mark, that's something that we actually, I think we discussed on the previous stream with the options at tackle right now out there. I think Taylor Lewin, was he a guy formerly at Tennessee, kind of still out there. Definitely not what he used to be, but maybe he's a good option out there. We could talk about it. It's the clown show. They're gonna want to stick with let's go. Josh Ball. They picked up Chuma Edoga. He's a tackle. Maybe plays a little guard. I don't know. That's the options we got at tackle right now. And again, to me, let's go. Maybe he's the highest upside. Still, too much of a risk to throw him in there. I believe right now. I mean, I'd love to see it, but I'm not going to fool you. I think that's too much of a risk right now. Over getting someone like Dalton Risner. But, as we discussed, and I don't know, Mark, if you were here for that stream, but Dalton Risner is off our list. Forget about him. And I think maybe that's what you're referring to this. But we cannot touch Dalton Risner at all. He hasn't, it sounds like, I mean, if the doctors clear him, that's one thing. But it sounds like he has, and these scouts around the NFL believe this, his knee probably blown out. And it looks like it's not, he might be able to play, who knows, 2 games, 5 games, and then he's going to be done for the year. So the deal is keep away from him. It sucks because he was one of my main guys here, and wondering why he was not signed. Now we know. The more you know, right? So we now know there's something up at least, and every team in there is pretty much that's interested is not interested because of that reason. So yeah. I think there's a couple guys out there at tackle you can bring in. It's the clown show though. They're going to stick with our guys. That's my answer, Mark. Kicking it off with a bang. Always love the discussions. That's what the drops help the channel, and appreciate you guys.
I got to see it live and in action, right? Whether you drop it through the super chat, whether you're sharing the membership drops, whether you're dropping it through the Cash App there, money sign MyCowboysFamily. You have the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comments show up right here on the screen, just like Super Chat.
Multiples on here. If you want to help with the channel, guys, get on the board, partake in the MCF experience. But the thing is, I do want to also add in there, of course, there's Super Chats, gifted memberships. You just saw both of those. And, of course, memberships themselves. And the thanks button, too. Appreciate everybody out there with dropping the thanks. I'm pretty sure, I think we talked to Skeptical yesterday. Yeah, Skeptical dropped that $2 thanks on our Jalen Tolbert video. So much love to him. Go Cowboys. Appreciate Skeptical. He's all over the board here. And now, baby, as we open this up now, we're about to kick off tonight's news. And again, it's in 60 because, well, there's not much news, but we got chit-chat on a Friday night here, a Fan Friday with the family. So who's in the house, baby? Ready to drop some knowledge with us?
We have Scorpio representing Thomas Garrett, the Superior Garrett. Rolando Rodriguez all the way from South Texas. Mike Aldana in the place to be. Double R, much love to you.
Welcome.
Of course, shout out to the man, Mark Hovsepian. Mahalo to you.
You know Mark's repping.
Let me see who else is here. I think we shouted out Scorpio, but just in case, Scorpio. We have Lee Side Harold, of course.
Always around.
Cactus G, much love to you. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. You already know. Let's see. It's actually as far back as I can go. Just because my YouTube was being a little weird. So I didn't get to see some more of the pre-stream comments I normally would. So.
Let me give it a shot. I can maybe go back. Let me see if I can do a little more. Like first was Freedom First in the house. Here you got Double R repping it here. Raul, who won one of the memberships, by the way. Raul and Burn Bar. Appreciate you guys. Again, Burn Bar. I know you got to hit us up on that telephone number or email MyCowboysFamily@gmail.com. Anyways, much love to you, Scorpio. I don't know if Jimmy Sauceda, he's in the house. I don't know if you hit these people up already on the shout outs, but
I don't know where you're
Jason Renfro in the house. No, baby, I went back.
Oh, okay, you went all the way back. Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't see it here.
Let me see.
But I could not shout out people.
Got it. I'm all got caught up. I just want to make sure we hit everybody and shout everyone out here that's hanging out with us on My Cowboys Family. So if that's a wrap on that, baby, I can kick it off.
Yeah, let's kick things off officially here.
Let's go.
So,
all right.
Let me see.
So I'm going to kick it off.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Good to know, Skeptical fan. Yeah, like we said, we've tried to touch base with Burn Bar a few different ways, but we're just waiting on him. So Burn Bar, again, if you're hearing this, please. Yeah,
he was in the chat. It sounds like he was in the chat earlier. So hopefully,
I think Scorpio has a way of reaching him. So
cool. Let him know. And either way, whatever, the email is the best, but the phone number is also an option for him too. So he can text us, call us, whatever. Now, let's get rolling here in Cowboy news. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Let me get rolling on NFL news real quick and touch on that. So, former NFL standout quarterback Phillip Rivers. Yes, I missed this yesterday, but I think we all know what I'm going to talk about here. He's basically one kid away from having an offense or defense. As far as kids are concerned, him and his wife announced, his wife Tiffany, who by the way is his high school sweetheart. They've been working at this for a long time, expecting their 10th child. So congratulations, I guess. Yeah. Hey. So anyways, now we talked about the Netflix project there. Peyton Manning's he's the executive producer. Thing. Yeah. It's number one on Netflix right now as far as TV shows are concerned. Number one TV show on Netflix. So, and Netflix is not stopping there. They got a Kyler Murray kind of similar kind of situation here. It looks like, I don't know if it's a series. It might be just a one episode thing.
No surprise that they're trying to, again, entice big sports. You know what I mean? With their streaming stuff.
They're definitely...
Just throwing that out
definitely moving. Netflix is moving that direction. They're going to make a bid for the NFL, some NFL games in the near future, so stay tuned. But right now, they're just... they filmed Micah Parsons in Harrisburg, PA, doing his thing there. There might be something very soon on Netflix, in the sense of being about Micah Parsons. So stay tuned for that. The next project is already out. The Kyler Murray thing is coming out. So Quarterback is the number one show on Netflix. They're happy about this. I mean, this is big money for Netflix, so they're going to keep pushing that envelope. Now, pulling it into the actual, now as we talking about a retired quarterback, we're talking about Netflix, but what about Joe Mixon? Now, we know Joe Mixon had some incidents here with a gun, firing it. There was kids involved. I'm not talking about that. The Bengals today and Joe Mixon today finalized a restructured contract that's going to keep him with the Cincinnati Bengals for the entire 2023 season. Now, the thing is that there was a lot of possibility that he was going to be released, cut, who knows. So he wanted to guarantee he stays there. It looks like he took some kind of a pay cut in some ways. It says restructure, but this is actually more of a pay cut, I think. So again, he was due $10.1 million this year with a $12.79 million cap number. That's a cap hit there. So the new deal now frees up cash and cap room for the Bengals, and he stays as their number one running back, I guess, until the NFL maybe suspends him or something. But it's a good solution for both sides. Both sides are giving a little bit, taking a little bit, and they basically, it's a pay cut, but you kind of get your money now, and you rework some of the cap and the hits there. So again, he's here for he's in Cincinnati for at least one more year, it sounds like. And again, they've been trying to work something out like this in Cincinnati for a while. So they got to keep the running back for a lot less cap hit and a lot less money. The running back gets more guaranteed, I think, up front, and that's basically that. Now, NFL Total Access, okay, they've talked about this. Other places have, ESPN and Fox Sports, but all these places have discussed, the franchise tag, and we have our own guy here, franchise tagged for this season, and that's Tony Pollard. So when you look at Tony Pollard in the mix here right now, guys, he's already signed his tag. It sounds like he's going to be playing on that tag this year, and unlike, some of these other guys who still have been kind of pseudo holding out. And
it really puts the Cowboys tag in perspective, too. Just throwing that out there because, really, truly, is there any better position to tag than the running back right now? And if there's a running back you're going to tag,
if it's a top running back, tag him. Yeah,
of course.
That's the thing.
That's why I said, there's very few that are worth actually tagging. And then when you get to the actual tagging part, I'm just saying, they're actually in a pretty good spot.
I mean, you do want to, if you're gonna make a $10 million investment on a running back, that's still high, but it's cheap compared to all the other positions. And if it's someone who's not that good, then then you're throwing your money away on a tag. But if it is someone who is to me, I believe Tony Pollard's potential here in this system we're going to be having, I think this is a he's going to be happy with the $10 million. I think we'll be okay with the $10 million. Knock on wood, stay healthy, and we're good there. So, look, NFL news still, though. Nothing's changed with Tony Pollard. No deal made. No deal on the way here. So, it sounds like he's going to play on the tag. Other running backs, though, in the NFL, like Saquon Barkley, still are in the middle of trying to push for something. Because right now, after that Monday deadline at 4 p.m. Eastern, Saquon Barkley swears he's not going to step foot in training camp. He's going to probably miss week 1. So and that's against the Cowboys. So
we'll have to see if that holds.
They're definitely pushing to getting that finalized, something done, I guess, both sides. I'm hoping the Giants pay him a whole shitload of money, $16 million, give it to him a year. The Raiders, that's a different situation. Josh Jacobs and the Raiders running back there, not even close on a deal. It sounds like he is either going to sit out or have to play, but either way, He's not happy there. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars tight end, Evan Ingram.
Oh.
Now he's, surprising the tight end there is tagged, but again, if you look at those positions outside of special teams, it's running back and then it's probably tight end there. So
he's just playing a little hardball.
Well, again, Ingram is just, he says like he will be at camp. It sounds like he's going to be at camp, even if there is currently no deal still in place or he's not happy. But that's kind of those are the three guys that are kind of holding out, wanting to get extension. Tony Pollard, of course, wants an extension, but he's playing on that tag. So just wanted to clarify that and give the update on all these other guys as well. We're talking NFL. Now, if you see the... Oh, I'm sorry.
I did have one quick question. Asmodeus did say, would Pollard have been tagged had he not gotten injured?
That's a good question. I think he would have still been tagged. I don't think anything changes there, mainly because the Cowboys are a little hesitant to maybe fall into the Ezekiel Elliott trap again. And I know Jerry Jones loves to just... he would love to pay a big name running back big money. He just is in his blood with Jerry Jones. But I do think that feeling a little bit burnt, his like fourth overall pick now, it's not with the Cowboys, and nobody literally wants him because I believe the front office ran him to the ground. Maybe they're afraid that they'll run Pollard into the ground because that's the way they can't help themselves. That's the way they are. I don't know. Either way, I think that they would have tagged him either way, and they're a little bit nervous about maybe tagging a running back long-term or paying a running back long-term unless it's a real cheap deal for someone of Pollard's, potential. I think that if you used him the way it would be to his skill set in Tony Pollard, think of Deebo Samuel. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into it. I already discussed it multiple times. He's Deebo Samuel-like. If you utilize him in those ways, not as proficient as Deebo in the passing game and maybe even, in certain parts of Deebo Samuel's game, but definitely a guy who can take more hits than Deebo Samuel out the backfield as a pure running back, as more of a running back with receiving talents. Deebo is a receiver with running back talent. So that's kind of the way I see him. If you think of him like that, how much is Deebo getting paid? A lot more than $10 million for a receiver. He's getting receiver money. So you guys remember that. That's kind of the big difference there, and I think that's where you can. If I just my personal opinion, I see Tony Pollard more in that style, and that's where you can get a lot of you can gain a lot of an upper hand on other teams using him in that way. That's maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
No, I don't think you're
4
crazy.
years in the league, maybe that's too old already for running back. I don't know. He was barely used for 3 of them. Anyways,
So
great question, Asmodeus.
Brandon James Shea, hello and hi. Double R, what's up? So Mike Aldana. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I read that comment already, so I don't want to repeat myself. But Roland Rodriguez did say, will Tony Pollard sign a 3-year, $8 or $9 million contract for guaranteed money?
Wait, what was that again?
Like, would he be willing to sign a 3-year deal that ends up giving him more like $8 or $9 million?
That's a great question. I don't think he would do that now. I think he's trying to go like $12 million a year, $11 million a year. That's why I said 33. The more important thing is the guarantees. If the guarantees are only for a year and a half, maybe Pollard wouldn't take that either. Maybe he wants 2 years guaranteed money. So look, that's always the numbers inside the numbers, right? So we won't know all the details, but I can guarantee you that's probably something he's probably looking at. He's not when you get tagged, you go up. When it comes to asking for a long term, that's like the base min. That's like it means you're getting the total number of you're getting the 5 highest salaries divided by 5, right? And you're getting that average, the 5 highest salaries at that position, which would be running back, right? So if you're taking 10.1 now, you're gonna go backwards. You're like saying I'm not worth a 10.1. So it's almost like you got like kind of like Dalton Schultz last year. You knew it was going to be more, although the market is what makes the choice here. It's not us, it's not the owners, it's not the player. It's the market that makes the choice. And the market went down for tight ends for someone like Dalton Schultz, and it topped out with like the guy from the Browns. I keep forgetting his name, but I used to have him on a list of guys that I'd like to bring in here. But again, it seems like he got like a $14 million deal, and then after that, it's like, wait, and teams are like, let's not pay Dalton Schultz the $15 million. And they went backwards a little bit there when he went to Houston, which is like going back in time and you're playing for the Houston Texans over there. Ugh, horrible.
So, first of all, Q Ball said, I agree.
Hey.
So,
I'm sure there's something I said in there.
One co-signer there. Cactus G said, Steve is indecisive because whether he closed contracts early or late, he still manages to F them up.
Always. And that's the biggest issue with our front office, unfortunately. They do that that's done way too consistently. Is the effing up by the Joneses, waiting too long, and then overpaying while that talent is maybe on the downside of things. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens a lot more than it should. It happens too consistently, in my opinion, on the bad side of things. It's too inconsistent when we get a player at the right time for the right money. Maybe again, if you do it now like that, then that's a steal for the future. But not when you go into the future and then you pay future money. It's pretty simple what that is. And I think you all know what I'm going to do. It's the clown show. When that happens, that's the clown show. Ooh. Aztec in the house, all the way from Australia.
Yeah, we have an Australian $2 holler in the house here. I appreciate you. And you know what Aztec had to say?
What did he have to say, baby? I can't wait.
Said, "Go Cowboys."
Hell yeah.
SCW. Oi, oi.
We know why he's here. We know why he's here, too.
Can't say it in your charming Australian accent, so apologize there. But thank you, Aztec. I appreciate you for being here, hanging with us. And again, guys, just Cowboys are worldwide, international.
That's a link. We got a lot of people representing it here from all parts of the state of Texas, the country of America, and worldwide. Maybe I say universe-wide. That's what I say. So let me update the board here, baby.
No,
and you can hit the chat
Thomas
up.
Garrett saying it there, the damn clown show.
Hey,
again,
I
have to admit, the clown show behavior has been to quite a minimum.
It's a little less. It's a little less clowny than usual. Last year was a complete freaking train wreck, and we still overcame that crap on the field, even with the coaching, the clowny coaching of Kellen Moore. So I'm just saying we overcame a lot. Could have done better, though. We could have done better if this front office worked a little more with logic and common sense. But hey, I've been saying this for 6 years. You've been saying this for 6 years. You guys, some of you guys in the chat been with us for 6 years. We've been saying this for 6 years, and
I'll say it for another 6 if I have to.
I don't want to.
Rather not.
I want to see Mike McCarthy maybe do the right. I'm hopeful he will be on the right. He's got to be better than the other options. Let's put it that way. Now we got some great options down here. We got Brandon, James, Shay with that 5 on it, but we also got another drop right there with it from Moose. 38.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much with a $2 holler. And of course, the classic Go Cowboys.
Yeah, Moose in the house. Appreciate you. I'm going to update the board, so I'm going to need a couple minutes.
No, of course.
And you also got Brandon James Shea with the drop.
So Brandon James Shea's drop there with his $5 holler. He said, Saquon Barkley's contract negotiations, the Giants' best offer is repeatedly $19.5 million guaranteed.
It's the Giants' best offer? That sounds off. I think that is not what. Again, Barkley would have definitely taken that deal. So that's incorrect numbers there as far as a per year thing, Brandon. But if you're looking at, I'm pretty sure Saquon wants around 16 is what his numbers are. The Giants have offered him like 13 or 14 maybe. And that's kind of where the last thing we heard. 19, definitely not. I'm going to correct that, Brandon. Post the link, I guess, if you can, or something, or post it in one of our videos, and we will look it up and check into it. But I will almost bet you any money, Brandon, that there's no way the Giants anywhere offer a running back $19 million. So if that's the case, he would have taken that and been first guy in camp, first guy in line. That's not happening. That's not how much he's been offered. So maybe that's what he wants. I don't know. Much love though, Brandon, Moose, Aztec, Mark Hosepian, skeptical fan dropping the love here tonight.
And it's funny because I kind of understand the Giants. Again, just from a negotiation standpoint, you always want to undervalue the players. So of course they're going to lowball him, so to speak. But do you really want to invest all that in a running back? So I understand why they're not just taking their buckets of money and somehow throwing it in the direction that they want. So, Cactus G throwing it out there. So he said he's drinking the Kool-Aid right now. That McCarthy and Dak best not make me spike that bowl.
Listen,
trust me, we'll all be drowning McCarthy in the punch bowl if things don't go the way we want it to.
It's not going to be worse than Kellen Moore because this offense is not about McCarthy. It's not about Kellen Moore. This offense is about Dak Prescott and the other players in the offense. See, that's the key. Kellen Moore had a scheme. You got to do his scheme. It's not working. He doesn't know really how to adjust that much. You're done. You get figured out. That's it. And that's what happened against good defenses. Not because of Dak. It's because of Kellen Moore. I've been saying this for 4 years with Kellen Moore. I wanted to see an improvement. I didn't see any. I saw very little. And so has McCarthy. Very little. And now we know that McCarthy's been planning. I could just say this. He seems like he's been planning this for almost, not taking over, but 3 years. He has his ideas of what to do with Dak Prescott. And you can see with that quicker West Coast offense, up-tempo. I don't know about more motion, but definitely I think they're going to work with Schottenheimer with more play action and more creative run calls for the running game than we have with Kellen Moore. And then you're going to have, of course, the up-tempo stuff, the quick passes, the quick, crisp slants by the receivers. Boom, hit them quick. Dak's going to have 2 seconds, 2 reads, maybe 3 reads on a play. Not there, 2 seconds, 2.5, you break the pocket. And everybody knows where to go. And that's night and day from last year. It's easier. Oh, yeah. Last year, they didn't figure out the offensive playbook until week 8 or 9 of Kellen Moore's doing. So they're already almost figuring out before training camp. I actually got some information on that about McCarthy's plan. It's already being figured out. They're going to figure it out almost, not fully, but it's already kind of on paper. They know what they're going to do day 1 of training camp. That's the difference from this year and last year. Keep that in mind. Now, I'm updating the board. I still got to update it.
Of course. Tammy Soltis, hello and hi. What's up,
Tammy in the house.
We have Chalk Time Montana 808. Hey. Much love.
Much love to the man Montana 808.
But yeah, Mike Aldana, it's, obviously different injury situations between Zeke and Saquon, but I have to agree with your point. Who said, let me see, the Giants have a Zeke-like problem with Saquon. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Barkley might have another year or 2 in him. That's at most, I think. That's it. Anything more than that, it's just blown money. And it's going to be $16 million a year. That's a lot of blown money. In my opinion, in my humble opinion.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't just chuck it out the window. Let me see. Bruce got the toxic juice. What's up? Much love. Double R in the house as well. Montana said, question chat, how is Saquon being lowballed? The studios, let me see, the dude has barely played, one decent year.
I mean, he's had some great moments and great games and great stretches, but I'm kind of with Montana 808. I think he might have had a good season overall, but he hasn't had like maybe this money he's asking for kind of season overall. He has the potential there, but the injuries, other things have slowed him down. And then I'm with Montana on this because he's gotten a deal, I think, for $14 million as a running back. I know it's not what his dream was, but that's the way the market goes. It goes up and it goes down. It goes all around, right? For quarterbacks, for running backs. So for Saquon Barkley, this is where he's at now. I think he's good with, I think 14, he's going to have to take that eventually because sitting out, holding out, that's even more costly. That's more costly than holding out for another $2 million. That's my opinion. But hey, to each their own, and Saquon's threatening week 1 at home against our Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, he's threatening that. Everybody's using that damn. Everyone uses our star, baby. Everybody uses our star, even Saquon Barkley. He's like, you don't give me my money, I'm going to sit out for the Cowboy game to open the season.
There you go. Well deserved and well earned, right? So
I mean.
But real quick, yeah. So Saquon has not signed the tag.
Nope.
And I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit more in between. I do think that there's some overhype for Saquon, but I think that you forget again. I don't know if I touched on this already, and I know I have in the last few weeks or so, but his compliment to Daniel Jones and the fact that the Giants are obviously interested in keeping Daniel Jones around for longer than a few days. I think that they're looking for Saquon to fill a similar Zeke-like role to Daniel Jones, but even more so than it ever was with Dak, Saquon is there to bail him out of trouble and save his ass. So
when he's healthy,
so even if he was fully 100% healthy, they're still not in the same position that the Cowboys were in when everything kind of went down with the whole Dak Zeke situation. As far as like Dak obviously not being the guy who was supposed to play, and then now he's playing, and then Zeke was obviously a big help in keeping Dak out there on the field and playing well. So that's it.
Yeah, no. In the beginning, he did, and even in recent years, pass protection and catching the ball at the backfield, short yardage
Bruce
stuff.
got the toxic juice. Said without Saquon, the Giants would not have made the playoffs last year.
I agree. I agree with that. He had good enough seasons put together where, it would classify, I think, as a good season. I think that's where maybe Montana and I might have a difference there. But when it comes to, putting in over $14 million to a running back who's had injury issues, and now you got something to carry you for what, 4, 5, 6 years? I don't know. If it's that long, that's insane. $14 million. If I was Saquon, I'd take that immediately. But again, what do I know? Maybe I don't know anything. So look, we could keep talking about it, but then it's the Saquon Barkley show. So I don't know. We have anything else, or you want me to keep going?
Let's keep it rolling.
All right. So if you look at our thumbnail, right there, who's that? I mean, the true Cowboy fan should know this. On that upper right side of the screen, you got number 24, and that's not Israel Mukuamu. That's number 24, Everson Walls, the great Everson Walls. Maybe today, as you can see, there's a question mark there for a reason. And that Hall of Fame right behind him. We've been screaming for this guy to get into the Hall of Fame every fucking year. All right, they keep disrespecting Everson Walls and Darren Woodson, but let's just go Everson Walls. He missed his chances, basically, to be in there in a regular way. Now Everson Walls is among the senior coaches and senior contributors as far as a semifinal list for the 2024 Hall of Fame. So there is a chance for Everson Walls to still get in there through these other ways. Now, there's right now on the semifinal list, maybe there's 4 Dallas Cowboys players, personnel, coaches, whatever, that can be enshrined into the Hall of Fame. So again, they announced 60. It's a lot. 60 semifinalists in the seniors, the coaches, and contributors category for this 2024 class. And among the nominees for the Cowboys was Everson Walls, Dan Reeves. If you guys know Dan Reeves, I know he's a Denver Bronco coach, but he was a Dallas Cowboy running back. John Wooten and Frank Bucko Kilroy. I'll quickly go through this real quick, maybe so people know what I'm talking about. But Frank Kilroy and Dan Reeves. Kilroy is inside the coach and contributor category, and so is Dan Reeves. He's not there as a player. And he should not be a player, Dan Reeves, because he wasn't the greatest. He was good, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame guy. As a coach, though, different situation. Getting John Elway and the Broncos 2 Super Bowl rings. So Dan Reeves. They're trying to see if they can get in through the coaching kind of contributor category. He did spend, again, that's why he's not going in as a Cowboy. He would go in as a Bronco. But, of course, I just want to make sure everyone knows he spent 8 years with the Dallas Cowboys as a running back. After playing, he became an assistant coach. They don't want to skip that. But he became an assistant coach with the Cowboys, which helped him eventually become, of course, a great coach with the Broncos. But he was a coach of the Cowboys, assistant coach from 1972 to 1980. So still repping that star for, 14 years. We're taking that, right? 16 years. He then became a head coach for 3 different teams, winning Coach of the Year twice in 1993 and 1998 with the Broncos. Again, that's Dan Reeves. Frank Kilroy is general manager for the Patriots from 79 to 82, the vice president from 83 to 93. But his only connection to the Cowboys is the time he spent in the player personnel and scouting department from 1965 to 1970. Just five solid years behind the scenes kind of stuff there, right? So again, he is a contributor kind of guy that has the connection with the Cowboys, not going to get inducted because he's a Cowboy or under that star. So John Wooten, the third guy on this list, he was director of pro scouting for the Cowboys from 1975 to 1991. That's a shitload of years there, 16 years. And he created the player development programs for the NFL in 1991. He moved into the Eagles front office and then the Baltimore Ravens. He became the assistant director of pro and college scouting. So just going to say this, it's probably the whole body of work, and it sounds like this is a Cowboy entry to me. He originated a lot of these programs you see in NFL when it comes to the player development and that kind of stuff. So it's great stuff. John Wooten, a Cowboy, and other teams. Unfortunately, an Eagle and a Raven as well. And finally, the guy in the thumbnail, number 24, Everson Walls. We all know him. We talked about him when the Trayvon Diggs interception year. It's about Everson Walls, so you're tying him. Everson Walls, of course, been to the doorstep again before to the Hall of Fame. He gets another chance to make it now. He made 3 first-team All-Pros, Everson Walls, and 4 Pro Bowls, led the NFL in interceptions 3 different seasons. That's pretty freaking impressive, as you guys would know as a Cowboy, right? He did, as a rookie, he set the record, basically. Again, he in the same situation last year. to get into the Hall of Fame, but did not get enough votes last year to move on. He'll get another chance. I think he'll get in eventually. Everson Walls signed with the Cowboys again. He was an undrafted. Can you believe that? Free agent. I want to remind people of that. Back in 1981. I grew up watching Everson Walls. Him and Ed Reed are the only two players in NFL history to lead the league in interceptions in 3 separate years. So, Everson Walls deserves that Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. He deserves it. So the 12-person selection committee will now consider all the 60 candidates and vote to send 12 seniors, 12 coach contributors to the next stage. So now they're going to go down to 24 from 60 to 24, 12 from one category, 12 from the other. Everson Walls has a very good resume. He's gonna probably definitely get into the the finalist here, the 12 finalists. But if he doesn't get, again, time could be running out for him. I will say that if he doesn't get in the Hall of Fame, whether it's now or later, I think that hopefully Jerry Jones, or whoever takes over when Jerry Jones passes, inducts Everson Walls into our Ring of Honor. Be nice, but I think Jimmy Johnson should be first, right? Now, Everson Walls also, guys...
It's hard to make that argument the other way, right?
Yeah. So, again, Everson Walls has an easier chance because of this category to get in this way. Darren Woodson, though, to me, that's the one I think that we got to get cleared up first, almost in a way. But I don't want time to run out for Everson Walls. Darren Woodson needs to get in there sooner than later, in my opinion. And, again, Everson Walls, he should make the final cut to 12. Let's knock on wood. Number 24, repping that star. I know he played with the Giants and won a Super Bowl with them, but he's going in as a Cowboy. That's where he said. He was there as an old man already.
That's how he should be.
Well, he was an old man already with the Giants. He was all right, but he wasn't what he was with the Cowboys. He's an undrafted rookie. So that's great to talk about. Hey, now, baby, I know I went a little bit old school there. So hit up the chat real quick, just a question or two, and then let me get a drink of water here.
Nothing wrong with kicking it old school, right? So, and yes, Tim, the preseason officially kicks off now in less than 2 weeks. We're literally counting the days.
Training camp in 2 weeks, and then we got a preseason game like a week and a half later. Not our game, but the NFL. Like the first week of August is a preseason game. So our game is, I think, the second week of August for the Cowboys.
Let me see here. Mike Aldana said, "Don't let Everson Walls be the next Drew Pearson for the NFL Hall of Fame."
Mm-hmm. Agree. Everson Walls and Darren Woodson, get them in. Two defensive backs, push them in there. 2 more stars with that helmet representation. They need to get in there one way or the other. I don't care. Everson Walls gets in there when he's 70. It would suck, but get him in there. Same thing for the great Darren Woodson.
So, rolling it back a little bit more, Brian Bradley said, "I'm excited to see the rookies." Hell to the yeah.
Me too. And we're going to see them here in literally less than 2 weeks, guys. So as we get back onto Cowboy news here, current Cowboy news, I know we talked about Everson Walls, defensive back, cornerback, talk about some safeties as well, and defensive players. Defensive players spending time working out together in Prosper, Texas. Now, we've seen video of Jaron Curse working out there, Malik Hooker, Jordan Lewis. He's getting back in the mix. We saw him working out a little bit on that rehab situation with his foot. Chauncey Golston, also on some video stuff here. All these guys working out together here in these 5 weeks before now training camp. Now we got 10 days before training camp. Also, who was with them? Former Dallas Cowboy Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown was there with them. Who's not? He's currently still a free agent. And Antoine Woods, who is a guy that's not coming back to Dallas, I don't think. But yeah, he was also present there. Both guys were present. Yeah, both guys were present, and they were hanging with the Cowboy players there as they were putting in work. Curse, Hooker, Jordan Lewis, Chauncey Golston. Now, you can see there again. I wanted to kind of get to I don't have the exact entire quote from Dak Prescott. Usually we bring it for you guys, but when you look at our offense and the game plan, every day we touch on it in some shape, form, or fashion. The changes, 30%. What could it be? This and that. And I like to hear it from the players, the coaches themselves, the most. Now, Mike McCarthy's game plan seems to be on the right track, working out in the sense of timing. And we talked about it a little earlier tonight, like the timing of getting everything together, getting everything working on the same page. These things are what McCarthy is I think, on track. Maybe even a little ahead of it right now. But Dak Prescott today at SportsCon, which we discussed about SportsCon. I think it's in Dallas for 2 more days. Dak Prescott was there and he spoke. He had a couple of things to say, but the main things I picked up on were about our offense and the game plan, the plan, the play calling going into this season. That, you know, that's kind of what I want to see from behind the scenes right now when it comes to Dak and the game plan going forward. And it just sounds like they do seem to be on the same page, but we know that Mike McCarthy's a little bit on schedule. Dak, hopefully he's on schedule, right? We talked about the kind of style of offense he has. This is what Dak Prescott, and I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit here. Here's what Dak Prescott said about our offense. We've got to make sure, because they asked him, like, what's the goal here when you get out there on training camp? He said, quote, we've got to make sure that we hit day 1 of training camp in full stride. So, again, we're talking about basically, guys, knowing everything almost immediately I remember this. I'm not getting interaction here, but I know that when we would go into camp, sometimes it would take a couple of weeks before we see kind of everyone kind of feeling like they're on the same page. This is not about Kellen Moore. I don't know what this could be. I'm just saying that it just seems like it's different. Now we're getting a little bit of a...
It took a lot more time for the team to kind of come together in a more team type of way. I do have to agree that I feel like, and again, part of it too is that we haven't made as many drastic changes in personnel or things like that. We're in more of a retention period. So a lot of these guys don't necessarily need that kind of hand-holding either.
I will say this though. So we got Brandon Cooks in here, and then what happens? Well, we got them working out with guys like Tolbert. We got them working out with the other receivers. We got him over there working with Dak Prescott in his backyard. That's the kind of stuff where that work pays off at this moment. Forget about the whole season later on. It needs to pay off right now at training camp, and that is where the Cowboys are at, I believe, and I think Dak's very confident about that. I think the offense is very confident about that, and I know McCarthy is currently very confident about that. So hitting training camp, not like the middle of training camp or the end of training camp, but at the beginning of training camp, full stride, already going. Everyone knows what they need to do, where they need to be at, and everyone's on the same page. That is huge for this offense to be successful in 2023. Now, that wasn't all Dak said. That kind of peeks into the McCarthy plan, on track and going the right way. Why do I say this? Because Dak said this. When you switch, because they asked him, what about the play calling situation? McCarthy's calling the plays. Dak said, quote, when you switch play callers, just really understand that the way the game is going to be called, you have to get used to that and create an identity. So again, Dak he's getting used to the way he just said, it seems like everybody has to be on the same page. That might still have to be ironed out in training camp, but it sounds like to me like they are creating an identity. When have we seen that from a Cowboy? I know we got the T-shirts from Garrett. I know we got the Garrett year T-shirts and, Pride or whatever the fuck was on those shirts. But we're seeing there's an identity that's being formed. I don't know what it is, but whatever the game plan is going forward, it is McCarthy made and tailored to Dak Prescott. It's not Kellen Moore and Jones's inspired. This is McCarthy inspired, tailored to Dak Prescott and the rest of our offense. That is a great sign, in my opinion. Let me hear what the man Mark Hovsepian had to say and his opinion on the deal here, as he's up to 89 points on the stream, boss.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. And yes, he said this with this $5 holler. Vanilla, chocolate, coconut, and plain vanilla coffee, which is your favorite? I'll say it again. No excuses for Dak.
I know.
Every year there's an excuse, and we have serious talent.
I mean, again, first off, coffee-wise,
the vanilla one was your favorite.
Vanilla and plain, those are my favorites. But vanilla to me is the one I liked there. I did not like the chocolate as much. It wasn't bad. Coconut, I do not like at all. But vanilla, plain coffee, chocolate, and coconut. That'd be my order if I was ordering it. If you're picking one, go into vanilla. That's what I'm going with, man. I appreciate you. I've been missing that. I've been fiending for that coffee. I
will go ahead and co-sign that, since a few times I did have coffee, it was the hazelnut or the vanilla ones that you sent.
Yep. So, yes, thank you so much for that, Mark. But let's hear the rest. What was the rest of that question? He said the comment there about Dak, no excuses. I agree. I don't.
Basically, that every year there's some kind of excuse, but that no more excuses anymore for Dak.
Last year we can say excuses, but it's not an excuse. It's a fact that when you take away Amari Cooper and put in there Noah Brown, James Washington. I mean, even Mark understands. You're hurting your team. You're hurting your quarterback. You're hurting your offense. When you see a lot of the same curl routes, and it works against the bad defenses, not because of Dak, because of Kellen Moore. But it doesn't work against the good defense. That's more about Kellen Moore, in my opinion, and failing the offense. So I think that's what the difference is this year. Look, is it going to be a perfect, is it going to be a perfect season? Hell no. Is Dak going to throw interceptions? Of course. But I do think that, this is going to be the best game plan for Dak Prescott he's ever had. I truly believe this. It's not an excuse for Dak Prescott. This is probably the best. Are there other better play callers out there? Yeah, I'm sure there is. Positive. But is this better than we had last year with a stale, and I say stale, a stagnant, okay, let me put it that, a stagnant, non-adapting offense. I mean, listen, to me, when McCarthy took over in the 5 weeks of Cooper Rush, 4-1 with Cooper Rush, and we had a shit offense, that's about McCarthy. That shows you McCarthy knew how to win, even with Cooper Rush. That's my point. And he's going to know how to win a lot better with a much better quarterback, Dak Prescott. I'm saying in that same mindset, because it went back to the Kellen Moore offense after Dak came back. We were worried about that, and that's exactly what happened. So now we don't have no more Kellen Moore offense, no more excuse of that, which is one of the issues hindering Dak Prescott, in my opinion, in his career, whether it was Linehan or Kellen Moore. I think these were some really badly managing coaches for a young quarterback with Linehan and Garrett, for his buddy Kellen Moore to take over. A guy who's never coached before, doesn't even know how to adapt. He's still green, and he's an offensive coordinator. And then we got Noah Brown in there. Got rid of Amari Cooper. It makes no sense. So these aren't excuses. I think everything I said here, it's not really an excuse. To me, it's a reasoning. There's actual reasons that are factual. If you did any of these things to Tom Brady, did any of these things to Aaron Rodgers, they would be very hindered as well. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say they're not going to be able to overcome it better than Dak. They probably would. But is it going to be a hindrance? It's going to make it a lot harder, and it won't be no 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee. Give Tom Brady Jason Garrett and that coaching team. Give him those guys, and Brady wins maybe a Super Bowl, right? You give Dak to Belichick, and Dak's going to get you a couple of Super Bowls. So I'm not saying he's as good as those guys, but he's good enough to win a Super Bowl with the right coaching. And I think we at least have better coaching. I'm not saying it's the right coaching. We have better coaching on offense for the game plan, schemed and tailored around our $40 million guy, Dak Prescott. So, anyways.
So, but yeah, Raul, what's up? Thank you for joining us here. And he said it sucks it took so long to just get rid of Kellen Moore.
Agreed. How long did it take for Jason Garrett? 11 years he was staining the star. 11 years. And they finally were able to let him go. At least we got Kellen Moore out of here. And again, I no offense, but it took 4 years. But I don't know. I just think it was, honestly, 4 years too long. He should have probably been, kind of slowly moved up, not just thrown into the fire like that. And, hey, look, it's the Joneses. Anything they touch, it seems to fuck up. Ezekiel Elliott, boom, overused him. They paid him, overused him. Dak, he overpaid, whatever you want to call, overpaid him, $40 million. Use him, make him throw all game. Kellen Moore, you're listening to us. You're green. You're new. We gave you the chance. You listen to us. That's just, I'm not saying that's exactly the way it happened. I'm just painting a possible picture of logic.
So, no, Mari Roberts, what's up? Much love. So, by the way, Asmodeus said, I can get down with that.
Which part? I said so much. I said way too much.
You have to be a little more specific than Asmodeus. By the way, Mike Aldana made a funny comment earlier. He said, Kellen Moore, vanilla with a pinch of cinnamon with his play calling. And when we say a pinch, we're talking like a single flake of a grain.
We're talking about that jet sweep. That's the cinnamon. There you go. Put a little pepper in there. Jeez. Listen, we're free of Kellen Moore. And I'm telling you this, when we play him, we play the Chargers, Dan Quinn's defense, who's adapting and adjusting and disguising, versus an offense that, number one, we know already. And number two, it's not going to change that much in the sense of adapting to the Cowboys. Although he might actually do best against us because he knows us best. But in the end, I trust Quinn over Kellen Moore every single day of the week, every single day of the year, for years and years on end. So anyways, look, finishing this up, I just wanted to go back to what Dak Prescott said, which just the end of this was about creating an identity. which I think it's not put on a fucking shirt like we saw with Garrett, and maybe it will be, I don't know. But in the past, we've seen Garrett put these cool little shirts together. Jerry Jones sells them, and they're hands in hand celebrating. And Garrett keeps his job another year. This seems to me something bubbling behind the scenes. It seems like Mike McCarthy is really trying to create something, not just a camaraderie, but also a game plan, an actual identity going forward. Not the Kellen Moore, lost in translation. I don't know what to say, but to me, Kellen Moore was like he really couldn't put a finger on what he's doing, and it made sometimes no sense. You did know, though, when they're in this lineup, they're doing this. You knew when it was 3rd and 8, they're going to the sticks and curling back. You pretty much knew that was happening 90% of the time, and good defenses would be able to stop us pretty easily when that happens. So when it comes to creating an identity for this season, then he didn't say what it was. Dak did not say what it was, but I'm curious to know, what that identity is going to be. Is it going to be, up tempo? I would be like,
or is it going to be, I guess, let's say more West Coast, right? Because we know it's going to be a bit more of a West Coast offense. And I know obviously that goes into the up tempo. I'm just saying, you can put a lot of different labels on it.
But you can say, are we going to do more like, Dak standing in the pocket? I don't think so. Are we going to do more, Dak under center? I mean, maybe if you do play action, that could work, or some running plays out of that could work. I think that would be Schottenheimer's involvement there. But I'm just saying, I think these things, I'm curious to know what that identity is going to be. That identity is so important. And Dak's taking ownership this time around. We know Terrence Williams, right? He was on Law Nation, I think, and he said something about, when he was first comparing Dak to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. He basically said Dak is the better passing quarterback, and I agree. But I also think that he also talked about Tony Romo, and he picked Tony Romo over Dak Prescott. He played with both guys. The reasoning is because he would change the play every time a shitty play call would be in there, and that's the difference between Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Dak Prescott's never been that way. He was always taught you listen to Garrett and you listen to Lenahan and you listen to Kellen Moore. And I think this is the first time that Mike McCarthy is saying to Dak Prescott, any coach is saying to Dak Prescott, hey, Dak, we're listening to you. We're listening to you and seeing what is your strengths, what's your weaknesses, and let's cater to that. Because if you're better, the team is better. And that's, I think, simply what McCarthy is doing instead of forcing the Jones mentality, Garrett mentality, Lenahan, and the Kellen Moore mentality. Listen, I don't know if this is going to be the best thing ever. But what I do know? I do know when Jerry Jones gets involved. I do know that we had Kellen Moore in there. I do know we had Jason Garrett in there. I do know we had Lenahan in there. I know it was shitty. And you guys know it too. So we don't know about Dak and McCarthy going to get. We don't know. It's got to be better in my opinion. But we do know about the other things I just said. We know about all, and we know where we're in. We've got to be in at least, I'm hoping, knock on wood, better place than those other 4 options I talked about. I don't know. I'm going crazy over here, guys. I need football to start now.
I still very much think that the biggest number, call it whatever you want to call it, I still think the number one main philosophy idea here is basically, and McCarthy said this before, but Dak Prescott is finally the focus here when it comes to what the actual game plan is. Not, his supporting staff, not the quarterback who came before him. No, Dak himself. So I think that's going to be a big improvement there,
because you made a point when Dak was put into the system as a rookie. It was a Romo system. And they had to dumb it down. No offense to Dak as a rookie. They had to bring it down from Romo, whatever they had planned, and just make it really simpler for Dak. And it worked that year with a really good running game. So we'll see. Hey, who knows? Who knows what the plan is? But the identity is being created, has been created, and it will be, I think, fed in training camp, preseason, and into the regular season and beyond.
So, let me see here. By the way, Kenzie Band said, forget Philly. I want the 49 gangbanger band.
That's what I was talking about the other day with the kids. I said, I think that, it'll be the Cowboys at home against the Niners to go to the Super Bowl. I think we'll take care of Philly, or the Niners will, in the divisional round. I'm thinking we're going to be at home this year, and we're gonna again. It's just I saw something in my mind, but the Niners in Dallas, and we take care of them, and we go to the Super Bowl. Hey, I can dream. Right? There's 3 teams in the NFC. Let's be real, and that's the Eagles, the Niners, and the Cowboys. So only 2 of them are going to get there to the NFC Championship. Cowboys better not fucking falter this time. They better not. So I'm going to finish up. I have one last topic after this, baby. I want to make sure we get all the Dak stuff talked on. And make sure everybody remembers.
Yeah, of course. Don't forget, guys. You got to hit the like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Best, easiest, simplest way to make sure you never miss a live stream. Of course, make sure to hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below. Give some extra love to the sponsor of the week and stream boss.
Yes, you know
Mark
him.
Hovsepian.
You know him. Appreciate him. And, of course, the Cash App King, who is Jason Renfro.
Shout out to you, Jason. Much love, of course.
And don't forget, currently, he's back-to-back, trying to go for 3, but SnugX is in his way right now. Currently, SnugX is the Cash App leader for this week. And the leader on the overall board is the same guy who's got the gifting championship since we started this membership gifting thing. Skeptical fan with the plan. First place overall. First place in the gifting board right now. Added 2 more today. We bow down to Skeptical Fan. He's got 26 gifted memberships this month. Jason Renfro's in the mix. He's got 3. You can only gift memberships if you're in the membership. Keep that in mind. And it's a great way of supporting the channel and spreading the love. And you guys can, especially in the regular season, you guys are going to love, those that get the gifted memberships, they're going to love what, the emojis during the games. We go live and there's going to be a lot of haters. That's why we need the emoji attack. You know what I mean? So I can't wait for the season. I cannot wait. But I cannot wait. I'm more excited about getting 6 and beyond. That's my mental always hope and goal. I don't know.
So, let me see. Double R throwing out there. Romo would be not that play time or call my own play, and
Correct.
That's the difference. Romo read the defense, but Dak won't.
Remember,
I don't know if so much as Dak won't, as much as it is that. Again, it's not a lack of ability or desire, if that makes sense.
Kind of the way he is. The way his DNA.
Dak is the type of guy that, some people, when they hear their, superior, there's whoever's calling the shots here, they hear an order, they're going to execute it, regardless of whether they think it's right or wrong. And there's others that say this is freaking bullshit and
take
pull
over.
a Romo.
And
so Dak is not that type of guy.
But. It's a big old butt right here, baby.
Always a big old butt.
What did we hear about taking ownership of this team? That is the key. You guys said that Cactus G, I think, made a mention about, he owned the offense. That is what McCarthy said he wants to. He's allowing, that's why I said earlier, he's allowing Dak. This offense is going around Dak. So he's allowing Dak to own this offense. The first coach ever, truly, that let him truly take over and own the offense. It's going to be on Dak's kind of flow. It's going to be Dak sees something, he's going to allow Dak to take advantage of things. And that is something that I think that Dak is very good at. Look at the up-tempo. Look at every up-tempo drive we've had that's not like a last-second drive or something like that. Every up-tempo drive we've had, we've been very productive, very effective. It's gotten points almost every time. So to me, you got to be kind of maybe more on that. I know you can't do it a whole game, but you got to maybe a little lean towards that side of things. I think the identity is going to be Dak. I think it's going to be the Dak. Whatever Dak's skills are, is the identity of this offense when it comes to the game plan, and that's going to only make the offense better and the team better. And I just think that a lot of times in the past we've heard, this is a great offense for Dak. I haven't seen a great offense for Dak yet, to be honest with you guys. So what I've seen him be able to do when he's not in a rigid offense like he was with Linehan, to me he was in Kellen Moore's offense, to having to allow plays to develop instead of taking ownership of the play. That's hopefully what McCarthy said he wants to do for Dak. He wants Dak to take ownership. And Dak, all he has to do is now take it. Now he's being told you can take. Romo, when he was at his best, when he came in, what was going on, right? We just got out of the Sean Payton and Bill Parcells kind of time frame. And then what happened? He took ownership. Why? Because now every single coordinator that came on after that was somebody who was just under Romo, right? And Romo's attitude was I'm going to change it. If it feels weird, I'm going to change it. And that's where Romo kind of grew into that. He was allowed to grow into that. I think that Dak has never been allowed to grow into that. He has his best buddy there doing his play calls, and he's still saying, yes, Kellen, whatever you're saying is great. I like it. Well, I don't know. Mark Hovsepian in the house, dropping another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on it, up to 94 points on the stream, boss.
Hey, he said, I want to be fully powered up. Thank you, Mark. Mahalo, he said, that's why I think Dak's a glorified bus driver. He is given permission to change plays, and he does not. He's a robot. $40 million should take the reins.
See, that's the thing, though. If he can't do it,
like that $40 million is somehow going to fundamentally change the type of like person/player Dak is. Like, Dak is Dak, whether you offer him $1 or $40 million. You know, the same way that I'm sure Saquon. You know, it doesn't matter what team you stick him on. Saquon's still gonna Saquon to a certain extent.
But I think the thing is, Saquon wants top money, and he's a quote unquote top running back. And people are thinking that Dak's not a top quarterback. Whose fault is that? It's on the Joneses. We've discussed that, but it's also past the mistake on when you paid him. $40 million is not going to take Dak and say, okay, now you can play like Aaron Rodgers. So what you got to do about that? The Joneses handled that horribly, guys. They handled the negotiations horribly for years. And then when he was on the team as a $40 million quarterback, they got Kellen Moore around him, who was, again, to me and to probably McCarthy, was not a very Dak-friendly offense, to at least his skill set. And that, in that sense, that is where I think Dak looks like a glorified, maybe at his best in a Kellen Moore offense or Linehan offense. At the best, his best is a glorified bus driver. I agree with Mark on that. But in a Mike McCarthy up-tempo offense, let's just pretend it's up-tempo. You're not looking at a glorified bus driver anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're still getting a better, a more efficient, and more playmaking type Dak Prescott, in my opinion, in a Mike McCarthy offense. Now, look, if it does not work, then rein it back to the way you did Cooper Rush, and then play Dak in that offense. Because then he's a glorified bus driver, right? But
basically, there's still a few options to maybe tick off and try to exhaust before you go ahead and just put Dak into the bus driver category, so to speak. And
that's what I'm saying. A glorified bus driver should not get $40 million. We can't Crowder forget about that. Forget about it. You can't help it. You got to hope that the coaching staff is able to go around his skill set. And it sounds to me with Linehan, Garrett combo there, and Kellen Moore trio. No one, watch him. I mean, he could do so much more. He's got to be glued to the fucking pocket, Dak Prescott. He can't extend the play too often. Look, this is the way he was taught. He's not going to stray from that too often. Tony Romo strayed from it all the time, and that's why he owned the offense better than Dak. Dak has all the intangibles. You just got to get the right offensive scheme in there for him. And I think we're heading towards that, if not hopefully a lot closer to that than we were in any year of Dak's career. I mean, that's got to be good, right, Mark? That's got to be a good thing.
I would consider it a good thing, but,
So, look, I appreciate you, Mark. Always love the discussion, man. And listen, we're finishing up with some people's most hated topic. But we did hire someone today that's going to help McCarthy and Dak Prescott plan better. And I'm going to tell you guys, thank goodness this is coming to a close with these hirings. But I do have to go over it with you all here real quick. So, baby, hit up that chat when you get a chance. After, when I talk about these things as well. Yes, McCarthy, Dak, they're going to get big-time help from guys like John Park, who we discussed already multiple times, the head of our analytics department. We hired Sarah Malapalli from the Ravens, second in command. Another strategic analyst here in William Britt. Yesterday, we hired Matt Lyons. And today, guys, we're going Moneyball. You guys seen that movie Moneyball? We went baseball here, guys, with a guy named, brace yourself, boom, Brian Davis, guys. The Tampa Bay Rays spreading to the NFL. Let me explain. Brian Davis, he's a research and development analyst with the Tampa Bay Rays the last 4 years. He's headed to our Dallas Cowboys officially, right? His job title is strategic football analyst. He joins this growing department, which is now looks like the top of the crew here. It's come to a close. It's fun, but I'll explain that in a minute. That's the third analyst like this on a 6-member team, as you just saw right here so far. There's one other guy still here, Alak Patani. He's in his 6th training camp with the Cowboys, working with the Cowboys. So he's the 6th guy not in this group of people, but he's the 6th of their group. So, according to these reports, guys, Brian Davis would be the 3rd analyst of this group, and it breaks down like this. John Park, like I said already, guys, they're in the middle. John Park, above there, he's number 1. Sarah Malapalli, strategic football analyst. William Britt, over there on the left, he's also a strategic football analyst. And Brian Davis in the middle, in the lower middle there, that is, not Brian Davis, but Max Lyons, a data engineer. That's who he is. With Brian Davis here, We're going to get to and adding them all together, guys. We're going to see a first-hand look at what a very strong analytics team can do. And I refer this only to, where's the Philadelphia Eagle fans in there? Because
no, funny.
So I didn't. It was rhetorical.
Oh, okay, thought you meant it a little more literally.
No. Cowboys got to see what we're hopefully going to see what this strong analytics team is going to do. But we saw what a very good analytics team did in Philadelphia. I hate to say it, but the Eagles last year they steal
all our good ideas and try to repackage them as their own. Every once in a while we can see what they're doing and say, hey, that's not bad.
This is a reverse Dallas Goedert. We're taking their idea and trying to stack it with some real players. And again, guys, according to his LinkedIn profile, Bryant Davis has a PhD in statistics with his bachelor's and master's studies in mathematics. Now, I don't know how that's going to translate, and I don't know how it's going to translate as well as being the baseball side of things. But, baseball to football kind of thing. But the Devil Rays. It used to be the Devil Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are one of the best teams in baseball, and especially when it comes to analytics. And I'll explain this in a minute. I got something to break down here, guys, because in the Tampa Bay Times, all right, there's been reports on the way he kind of does his breaks it down for you. It's similar to the movie Moneyball. And again, now if you guys seen it, check it out. If you haven't, it's a baseball movie about analytics and that kind of way. So again, baseball fans know. If you're a baseball fan, you follow MLB, you know that the Tampa Bay Rays are one of the most analytically advanced teams in the entire MLB. Some people think they are the most advanced analytical team in baseball. They have one of the lowest payrolls in the league, in the MLB. But they have been consistent winners. And the reasoning is, and this has been said already multiple times, the reasoning is the data analytics approach. Again, akin to the Moneyball movie, which is a true story about the Oakland A's and how they use analytics to win. And so I'm just trying to say, guys, they get the most out of their players for the least amount of money. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones are dancing for that. So they love this guy right here. Bryant Davis is his name. He's the new strategic football analyst for the Cowboys. Even though he's coming from baseball, he's not new to football. So he's not just football, no knowledge in football. He received the honorable mention in the 2020 Big Data Bowl thanks to his paper when he wrote it was aimed to, quote, predict the number of yards gained at the point of handoff. So they wanted an analytic to kind of figure out when they touch the ball, how those yards look at that point. How many yards are they actually running from the handoff point? So anyways, that's his kind of breakdown there, guys. I will finish up this discussion about this entire analytic team saying this. The Cowboys have officially closed down the job opening. They kept this job opening up after every hire, still sitting up there. It was still sitting up there after this hire, but they in the afternoon today, they did close down the applications for the strategic football analyst positions, and that means I think we're at the end of the main, you might get other people, squeezing in there doing, more menial jobs. These are the people in the group. These are the people you're going to see, taking aim here and taking the control of the analytics and communicating that with McCarthy, with Dan Quinn, and the rest of the coaches if needed. So these hires, guys, I'm going to say this, based on these, their roles, educational backgrounds ranging from computer science to data science, also machine learning and advanced math, advanced statistics. This is what they spent their lives doing this shit. So they know they're top of the class when it comes to sports data and analytics. So this team is, again, led by we probably have the most experienced NFL analytics staffing background here. There's all these people here. And I got to be specific with the background. I don't know if you know more about this, but it's more in like the actuarial science.
Never heard of it.
Okay, and and the Cowboys going to have an actual data engineer to lean on. He's right there in the middle of your screen, the bottom middle there. The ball.
So actuarial science is like an actuary, I guess?
Maybe. I'm not. Actuarial science.
Okay.
But the point is it's money, numbers, statistics, I don't know, all that stuff. Because again, remember, this guy that we hired today, Bryant Davis, look at him at the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's all about getting the most for your money. So, and they win championships. They win with that. They're successful. So, again, this team of good people, ladies and gentlemen in here, they are going to have a lot of different kind of specialists to lean on when needed. So, listen, I don't know the analytics stuff here. I don't know who out there who does and who's really into it. I know we do have some people that do watch sometimes. I know that we do pull stuff from people that do this stuff for fun, for hobby, for a living. But it's hard for me to kind of express what I've been hearing from that whole segment of the sports world when it comes to the computing firepower that the Cowboy coaches now have. The coaching staff will have this, and the scouts are going to have this. They're going to have so much more information now. Then you think we had a lot before? We're going to have a lot more now, a lot more specific data broken down stuff, which is I'm not saying they're going to use it, but it's at the coach's disposal. And this is another resource to grab from and make different guided decisions with, right? So, again, Bryant Davis. You got in the middle there Max Lyons. You had William Britt, Sarah Malapalli. And there in the middle there, John Park running the entire department. This is a new day and age for the Cowboy analytics team. We have one of the most experienced, top-notch analytics team in the NFL. Maybe in the world in the sense of sports. And I'm expecting to see some kind of dividends from the coaching staff because of these people. Because after McCarthy is gone and whatever happens, guess what? We're still going to have this analytics team here. And they're still going to be rolling the information to the next coach, Dan Quinn or somebody else. So, that's kind of the break. I just wanted to, hopefully that's the end of analytics talk and the hires for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I apologize.
This is the last and final hire here.
Supposedly, yeah.
Hopefully that's it. This is the cherry on top.
I know, but I feel like it has to be talked about because it is obviously the Cowboys are investing a lot of money, but also resources.
Everyone brings, I think, a little bit something different to the table as well. So,
well, we're going to see it all brought to the table in 2023 when it comes to the analytics department.
So, let me see. So Mike Aldana said a statistician. So,
is that what Curiel?
Basically, so yeah, that's what I said. Actually, I'm like...
Actuary, yeah,
so
maybe.
So that makes me think of, again, like fiduciary stuff and like that kind of hoopla. So, let me see here.
Hope you guys like the new logo, by the way.
So, yeah, that's right. We've MCF had a bit of a facelift, let's call it.
Yeah, just a little change in things. Just to tighten things up a little bit, boom. Now, we had the star, but we don't want to mess with the star because Jerry Jones, you know how that goes. But anyway.
Now, Cactus G says, sounds like too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
No, there's definitely a hierarchy and a group of workers here in the sense of Parker's at the top. Malapalli is kind of like next in command, but she's with the other two that we hired, or the two we hired, one today, the guy from last week. And then yesterday, yesterday we hired the data guy. So it just sounds like everybody has their specialty, and there are a lot of good resources for Park to kind of grab from and deliver that to the coaching staff.
So real quick, let me kind of keep rolling here. Scorpio said, "You don't need analytics to know that you have a 99% chance of Maher missing an extra point."
Again, you're right about that. They wouldn't use the analytics for that.
But we still want the analytics there to basically back up and confirm what we already know.
Yeah, confirm the thoughts.
I'm just saying, remember, guys, that is part of the purpose of analytics as well. It's not just, what about this, that, or the other. It's about the things that we're already doing and basically why we're doing them and are we going to keep doing them. So, Cactus G said, next playoff game, I hope Dak sees a play that won't work and decides to change it to CD and runs a stop and go.
That would be a dream. That would be Dak taking ownership of the offense. That you'd see that in action. Let's look for that this year. I'm hoping. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but I'm hoping he will.
So, Double R said, for $40 million, you should do your own thinking, good or bad, because listening to Kellen Moore wasn't working.
Again, I think I agree, but I also think it is not, and Dak's going to listen to. Dak is. Dak is the guy who's going to listen to the coach, Coach Kellen Moore, Coach Lenahan, Coach McCarthy, Coach Garrett, Coach whoever. That's who he's going to listen to. That person. He's not going to take over a game. He listened to Amari Cooper once in that Eagle game, and he finally grew up a little bit. And it kind of went against Lenahan, and it was a touchdown. So, hopefully Dak will see that again in his head and say, okay, it does work when I take ownership of this offense. He just wasn't allowed to then. McCarthy's telling him, you got to take ownership of this offense.
So, let me see here. Raul said, please let us beat Aaron Rodgers. I can't stand him.
Hey, like I said, the Jets, they're going to be on Hard Knocks. Week 2, baby. Keep watching, and we'll be studying them as our second game of the year there through the Hard Knocks way, right? But, hey, Aaron Rodgers might be on ayahuasca for all we know. Who knows? But we need to take him down. I don't care what. And that'll be our first home game of this season. The first home regular season game.
So, let me roll back a little bit more, but I think we kind of touched on most of the points here.
We're a little bit over an hour, but hey, we kept it close to that 60-minute mark. Guys, thank you for rocking with us here on the Nightly, on a Fan Friday. And we'll be, again, tomorrow might be a little party stream, so definitely you want to not just hit the like button for the stream, and of course subscribe to the channel here and grow the family, but you want to make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live or dropping. Tomorrow I got another video coming, Israel Mukuamu, another little sliver of my thoughts on Mukuamu, so check that out tomorrow, along with the shorts that we run out there and asking individual questions off of our videos, so check it all out. It's an experience here on My Cowboys Family. But hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and jump in the Discord for the notifications. Jump into the Twitter pages on Twitter for at My Cowboys Family for some of the stuff that we post through there as well, especially during the football season. But you want to, we put our notifications through there in case YouTube's situation sometimes doesn't work too efficiently. And let me also shout out those that keep the thing going here, like sponsor of the week, Mark Hovsepian. He's also the stream boss with 94 points in that green. He dropped a trio of 5s on it today. So much love to Mark Hovsepian on that side of things and on that overall board. I have to do the numbers again, see where he's at. I think he's moved up some. We also had the gifting mastering of Skeptical Fan, who's the gifting leader. He's also first place on the board so far this week, and we're coming to the last 2 days. We'll see who takes over. But I know he's still in front of Mark for sure. Aztec from Australia dropping the love. Moose38 dropping the love. Brandon James Shea, Navy Blue Crew, dropping the love. Appreciate every single one of you guys with the support there in the membership, whether it's the Cash App or Super Chats, whether it's Monday or Fan Friday. Appreciate every single one of you guys with this love and support on that side of things. But now, baby, it is time to call it a night here and do those shout-outs.
That's right, guys. So thank you very much to everybody here hanging with us, like Jason Renfro, Double R. We have Scorpio in the house, Cactus G.
Speaking of Jason Renfro, the Cash App King, and Snug X, the Cash App leader. But much love to Jason Renfro, back-to-back, and the big jersey winner, getting that Emmitt Smith. Hell yeah. Throwback style.
So let me see here. We have, Double R in the house, Rolando Rodriguez, much love. Mike Aldana representing. Let's see. Raul, much love to you as well. Mark Hovsepian, of course. Mahalo to you. Rolando Rodriguez in the house. Byron Bradley, hello. Kenzie Bands, much love. Let me see. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Thomas Garrett, the Superior Garrett. Lost in translation, my condolences.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We have Kenzie Bands in the house. Tim Panel, Asmodeus, Mike Aldana, Mari Roberts, Tammy Soltis, Chata Montana 808. Alright, and yeah, that's as far back as I can go. Let me see. Yeah, it's as far back as it's letting me go right now. So, again, huge shout out to everybody here chilling, hanging, relaxing with us. Again, can't wait to chill with everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a chill, much more relaxed stream, but we'll probably have some fun. I'm sure we'll have some drinks. Very chill. But it's more about just hanging, and maybe it's not that much Cowboy news. We'll definitely hit up on Cowboy news info and updates.
That's our last laid back, relaxed stream of the off season. Because guess what, guys? The next time we do a stream even close to that, there's no laying back and relaxing. It's gonna be full on training camp shenanigans, or preseason, or regular season.
It's gonna be crazy for the next 6 months right here, My Cowboys Family. But hey, we got this is quiet before the storm, and we're ready to go into that storm with you guys. But of course, still a little quiet first, and we'll see how quiet it really is on Saturday night, guys. Tomorrow night, we'll see. We should be doing something tomorrow, and be a little bit of fun. And of course, Sunday, the closure here on My Cowboys Family. But baby, before we can close it out tonight, why do we do this here on MCF each and every night?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Hell yeah. Win, lose, or draw. Good, bad, or ugly. We always rip that star over here on MCF. And never forget here, 6 years and beyond on YouTube, here on My Cowboys Family. Never, ever forget the number one thing here, now and forever. As always, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Rocking it here for 6 years on MCF with us. Guys, thank you all. Thank you, Double R, Jason Renfro. I see you in the house, brother. Double R, Rolando Rodriguez, Scorpio. I can't go back any. I think you already shouted everybody out. Mike Aldana and the rest. Marco Seppi and everybody. Thank you all for rocking with us once again. We'll see you all tomorrow, Sunday. Thank you for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Thank you for dropping the love from above. Truly appreciate your love and support. But now it is time to close it out for the night. And before we can wrap it up and get back here tomorrow for another one, relocked and reloaded, what do we got to do before we get on out and drop out of here for the night?
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, hell yeah. The beat's been dropped, guys. Thank you for rocking here with us for another one. Back tomorrow. Should be a party, kind of fun stream tomorrow. And then we're back to business Sunday. Bracing for this thing here in about less than 2 weeks, right? For the Cowboys training camp to kick the hell off. Let's go. Guys, thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remind all those Eagles out there that you know. Remind them some basic mathematics no matter where you are on this earth, planet, or universe. Show them this. 5 is always greater than 1. Those are facts. You can't change those things. Those are called facts. Also, we know that the Eagles cry. I mean, look at him. He's crying. 5 is still greater than 1. Guys, thank you again. Always like to troll those Eagle fans. Guys, thank you here for joining us for another one. Cowboys in 60. Cowboys in like 75. We talked about a lot. Had some fun, guys. Thank you for rocking it here with us. See you tomorrow, the weekend. Have a good one. Stay safe. And, of course, here with our new logo and all on MCF, My Cowboys Family. Never, ever forget the number one thing here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everybody in the house, even those haters in the background. Guys, thank you again, rocking it here. Navy, blue, silver, and star for everything. Have a good rest of your Fan Friday, your night, your weekend. We'll see you back tomorrow. Peace out. And never, ever forget, go Cowboys!